And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Friday Night Football action as we are in Decatur, Illinois tonight as your Bushnell Prairie City Spartans made the 2.5-ish hour drive down here by charter bus to Decatur Lutheran High School to take on the Lions here. Joined tonight by Dwayne Hewlett. It's going to bring back some maybe 13-year-ago memories, Dwayne's me and you doing the games on the radio.
Yeah, except there's radio or audio, video, computer. There's a few more wrenches in the toolbox today.
There's a few more monkeys throwing the wrenches.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it should be fun. There's only two of us tonight, so bear with us, folks. The call ought to be okay. I don't know how good the camera work's going to be, but the call should be fine. We'll see how that works as we move along. But I figure if I can announce races and run the camera at the same time, I ought to be able to do football, right?
And I was going to say, the reason that we're shorthanded tonight, want to wish a happy 50th birthday to Chris Frankhauser. Evidently, he decided he didn't want to spend it with me and you.
I can't believe that. I don't know why.
He chose his wife over the football game.
That's horrific. I'm a little hurt by that. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little hurt, but it's okay, Chris. We still love you, even if you did choose her over us.
Well, Chris, happy birthday. He's covered the games that I haven't been at here the last few years. I mean, he's been pretty loyal. So I guess we'll let him slide this one time.
In his defense, this is also their anniversary trip. I think it's a dual trip. So, Julia is really nice for allowing him to do these games and stuff. So we tease in a very nice manner, if that makes any sense at all.
You are listening to the JoJo's pregame show. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out the TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH Events live on the big screens. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell, and cheer on the Spartans to victory.
For the safety of these athletes, protect them from injury and harm. We also thank you for safe travel to this event tonight and ask for safe travel on the way home. And finally, we pray for your grace that you would provide us with the endurance to pursue our heavenly prize, eternal life in your Son. Amen. All parents, fans, students, if you want to be part of the end zone tunnel, please.
So kind of stepped away there for a minute as I was giving it. They did the opening prayer for the game, and we don't need that moth on the screen there, Dwayne. We do have I guess we'll call him the pep band, Dwayne, here right to our left-hand side. Now, Dwayne and I are on top of the crow's nest up on the roof, nice little railed-in area up here. And the thing is that depending on the weather, we may be out here in the elements come around 8:30. It looks like we possibly could get some rain here, so we will do the best we can leading up to that. As I said, we're about 5 minutes away here from game time. Our Spartans coming off a big victory last week on homecoming night. And if I can bring it up here real quick, Decatur Lutheran coming in with a 2-3 record, winning the first game of the season and then winning last week. They beat Kincaid South Fork week 1, 46-0. Lost to Martinsville 20-22, and then two games there on the 11th and the 18th, lost 1-0. And then last week beat Farmer City Blue Ridge, who we saw second week beat them 52-6. And we will step away for the national anthem. National anthem there by the pep band just down to our left, and we're getting close to game time here, Dwayne, as the
I'm trying to decide if we're as far away. I don't think we're quite as far away as Peoria Heights, but we're as high, I think. Aren't we? We're pretty close to it. We're quite a ways away up here on top of this. I can't really zoom in on the kids down in the goal, down at the end of the end zone, and I can't really zoom in on the far side very well.
Well, the one way that you could tell, because we saw this at Peoria Heights, if you zoom all the way out, you could get goal line to goal line. So if you could do that here, then we're about the same distance.
I'll tell you what, they have fun here. They've been rocking the music for quite a while. The pep band's pretty decent, and they got the crowd out on the field breaking through the little banner.
The LSA Lions, as I said, come in with a record of 2-3 tonight.
We can go 10-10.
So we're not quite as far
Not
away.
quite as far away. As folks at home can see right now, it's we're a little ways away, though. There's no doubt about that. So, unfortunately, you'll probably have to deal with my jerky. Why do I get all these games that are a long ways away that you have to be zoomed all the way in, and a little smidge of a movement makes the camera jump a mile? Have you noticed that? I get all those games.
Well, we've only had 2.
Exactly, but I got them both.
Well, as Dwayne said, we're kind of running with just me and him tonight. So the stats, I know Chris always likes to give himself a hard time about the stats not being accurate. I can promise you tonight they're not going to be accurate.
At least not as accurate as they are when Chris does them. I mean, even if you had tons of time, your math skills aren't as good as Chris.
I don't have a place to sit down up here to take my shoes off. So,
well, you can zoom in the middle of the field real well, though.
You get the coin toss, and of course you see right there in the middle for the Spartans, Shane Shin, still in street clothes, finally got the MRI results back, and 99.9% sure that he's done for the season. Some tore up ligaments and stuff in the knee, so I know there is some scuttlebutt about whether or not basketball's out for him or not this year, but we'll wait and see. You've been around sports as long as I have, if not longer, and we know that the knee injuries aren't really a real quick recovery.
Yeah, the thing is if he was to play basketball, he wouldn't be healed. He would be playing with an injury.
Yeah.
So make that clear, folks. If Shane does play, he's going to be playing with an injury. He's not going to be playing healed. And he'll play before it gets surgery, because once he has surgery, he has to let it heal, and he'll be done for probably – it used to be a year. Now they can do it in 10 months or so, 9, 10, maybe 11 months.
Yep. I mean, and we've seen, of course, there's a big difference in the, I guess you'd say the staff and the things you can get, but we've seen NFL players, tear an ACL at the beginning of the season and be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, MDH does a good job with these kids once they get out and helping them rehab and stuff. That's one of the great things that McDonough District Hospital's rehab and sports medicine does, is they do a good job with these kids and getting them back and healthy. But, that's something that is not going to heal fast enough for Shane to really enjoy his senior season.
Yeah. So after the coin flip, it is going to be the LSA Lions receiving.
I do want to point out that he did a very good job with Kenny the other night doing color commentary for the JV game. So he might have a newfound job on JV game nights, whether he wants it or not. In fact, I didn't even give him the opportunity the other night. I was running the clock again, and I heard him walk out, and Miss Dinger was going to run the down marker, which was going to be his job, I think, and he's like, I don't know. I said, Shane, up here. I didn't even give him a choice.
Welcome to the booth, young man. This is what you do.
You talk. That's all you have to do. But he did a good job, so I have to give him some props for that for sure.
These Spartans are going to tee the ball up here on the 40-yard line. Looks like Bittner once again to do the kicking duties for the Spartans. And the one thing I'm going to have help on is the numbers, Dwayne. You're going to be able to see them a little better. I don't know who that is back deep for the Lions.
I'll swing over and see if we can see a number.
24. Even the Crow's Nest has a hard time.
Number 2.
Emmanuel Rotten is what this. They have him as number 24 on the roster. Bittner's kick's going to go to about the 23-yard line, and then They're going to throw the flag. It did take a little bit of a golf shot there, and it tried to stay in bounds but rolled out about a half the length of the ball. It'll be a
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Yep, the illegal procedure kick, or illegal procedure penalty on the kick. So the Lions will take over first and 10 from their own 35.
So 35, right? Not the 40?
Correct.
Well, they're marking it at the – where are they marking it at? Oh,
He's finding it. He's getting there.
I was like, where is he going? He was doing what I do.
He did point A to C to D, then to B.
He was talking. That's what he was doing. If anybody knows me, I do that. I wander around while I talk, trying to get to where I'm supposed to be going.
It's like number 11 at quarterback in the shotgun formation. He's going to take the snap back, and he's going to run it straight ahead. He's going to have a big game for the Lions, and he could be gone on the first play of the game. And he is in for the touchdown. That is Ganon Harshman, 65 yards on the run.
And way too many broken tackles right there. Sorry about that, folks. Way too many broken tackles right there for sure. If you get a hand on somebody 3 or 4 yards downfield, Jeff, as you well know, you have to make that play. And the Spartans allowed him to break about 3 or 4 tackles on that play, actually. Did you say Marshman or Harshman?
Number 11, Ganon Harshman.
Harshman. He runs hard for a quarterback, that's for darn sure.
So 2-point conversion here. Going to be a run around the near end here, and he's just going to outrun some players there.
Brown came up and just did not take a good angle. He cut inside and allowed the quarterback to get to the outside.
And that was number 2 that time in at the, I guess you'd call it in the shotgun.
It was like a wildcat formation almost. It was an old-fashioned wing T -1 player is what it was. They had a wing back, just like Carthage used to do back in the day, except lined up on the left side.
So 13 seconds into the contest, it's 8-0. Lions score first. Bushnell Banking Center located at 360 South Green Street in Bushnell. Full-service banking and loan services for all your banking needs. Come visit the Bank and Friendly Service or call them at 309-772-2345. Good luck, Spartans. Bushnell Banking Center's equal housing lender, member FDIC. And Dwayne, one thing we're going to have to pay attention here tonight is the last 2 weeks it's kind of been a tale of two teams. We've seen the Spartans come out really slow against Peoria Heights and then pick it up in the second half, but they'd given them too much of a lead, where last week we saw them came out from the opening get-go, hit the gas pedal, and never let off.
Yeah, see if they can respond now. That's going to be the key. We've established with this 8-man football that it is much more of an offensive game. So you get a stop or two and hope your offense doesn't get stopped, and now BPC's behind the 8 ball a little bit and has to make sure they can get something going here.
Going to be a short kick. Lane Huffman's going to run up, and it's going to be recovered. That thing is going to take a backwards bounce as the one Spartan near it decided to let it go, and that thing took a backwards bounce to the 35-yard lines of the Spartans, and it's going to be recovered by the Lions. They're going to have it first and 10.
Yeah, that was like a pitching wedge with backspin on it. It came right back, and Dalton Huffman was running back to the ball but was not looking to grab it. I mean, when the ball's going away from you, you don't expect it to come back, and it actually bounced up over his head. He tried to jump up and grab it, but couldn't get a hand on it, and it's Lions football again, and now the Spartans defense is going to have to make one of those stops that we talked about, also important right here on this second drive for Lutheran, Decatur Lutheran. Or Lutheran School Association is technically
LSA. So it is number 2 in the backfield for the Lions. He's going to take the direct snap. He's going to bring it outside, and this kid's got some speed. As he does a little juke and gets back outside, he's going to be brought down around the 25-yard line, and it's going to be enough for a Lion first down.
This is like lightning and thunder for this LSA squad. Is the first Harshman was the thunder, and he just ran over a few people. And now number 2 is coming in at quarterback, and he's running around people. And they're not handing the ball off. They're doing nothing fancy. It's direct handoff or direct snap. And to this point, it's either been a run through the line to 11 or a direct snap and a run to the outside to number 2. And what was number 2's last name? I'm sorry.
Miller.
Now it's Harshman.
Low snap. He's going to have to pick it up off the ground, and this time there's a lot of white jerseys in the backfield. They're going to bring him down for maybe a loss of 1 this time.
Tackle on the play by number 8, Ben Powell, assisted by number 10,
Dalton Horwittle and Ben Powell on the tackle. Will bring up a second, and we'll call it 11 now for the Lions.
Yeah, big defensive play here for BPC. They've got the Lions behind the 8 ball a little bit. Now the defense has to, I would imagine at some point you're going to have to look at a pass, but when you're up by 8 points and you're deep in territory, you're still probably in run formation here, I would imagine, but you can't, we don't know enough about the Lions to know for sure.
Number 2 back now in the pistol formation. He's going to take it straight ahead, and he's just going to bounce it outside, and he's got a lot of running room, and that speed's going to get him into the end zone. There's no signal. The ball's on the ground. But it is going to be a touchdown, and all that was a lead play as Harshman led up through the right side of the line. Miller followed him and then bounced it outside, and I tell you what, that kid has got a lot of speed.
Yeah, the key for the Spartans obviously at this point is going to be contained. You've got to stay outside, whoever the corner or the outside linebacker is. Sorry, I haven't been watching through the camera enough to know if they're playing a 3-4 or a 4-4, because remember on Monday night against West Prairie they switched to a 4-4. But somebody's going to have to stay home on the outside to contain and push him back inside, because all of his big runs have come after he's got outside the contained man.
2-point conversion. Harshman looks like to be the carrier. He's going to lean forward, and he's going to have the 2-point conversion. 10-21 in the first quarter now. And with that score, it's the Lions 16, your Spartans 0.
Dry needling is where you insert a filiform needle into a muscle, a tendon, a ligament, sometimes a bone, and it promotes blood flow and circulation so that it heals that particular painful area.
I became a nurse practitioner because I wanted to do more, I wanted to learn more, actually have more hands-on individually with patients. The rewarding part for me is that I get to come to work and learn something new every single day.
And we're back here, 16-0 the score as LSA Lions come out. One play on the first possession, 13 seconds in, and they're up 8-0. They kick off and able to recover the kickoff, and then 3 plays later, they're in the end zone once again.
Yeah, they've ran 4 plays, scored 2 touchdowns, and BPC hasn't ran an offensive play yet. Correct?
Yeah, they've ran 4 plays for 110 yards. Lane Huffman back deep. His brother Dalton in front of him here on the kickoff. It's going to be a little squib kick towards the near sideline, and that one's going to go out of bounds.
That'll be out of bounds where it went out of bounds. That'll be first and 10 for BPC at the 41-ish yard line. We'll see where they decide to mark it at. It's up where it went out of bounds. That's what it should be where it went out of bounds.
Yeah, and it went out about the 37-yard line. It went out just right by the 35.
Oh, I thought it went out at the 41.
So the 36-yard line. So BPC finally with a chance here they're going to mark it right on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that's not how that's supposed to work. But
you don't lose yardage on that.
No, you don't. But
so first and 10.
I wish I'd have looked at the replay because I really thought that was the 41. But you were looking closer to me. It's hard for me to see through the little camera lens.
First and 10 is going to be a handoff near side. I believe that's going to be Horwittle on the carry.
It is.
He's going to have a gain of what looks like about 4. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
Tell you what, they flock to the football, don't they?
Yes, they do. Spartan's going to come out with 2 wide receivers, split backfield. Handoff this time to Ben Powell off the right side. He's going to try to get it outside, and he's going to lose a yard, if not 2, on that one. It's going to bring up a 3rd and probably around 8, Dwayne.
Yeah, he just tried to stretch that out, but much to the opposite of what BPC's been able to do is stretch the play to the sideline. As the Lions stretched it until Ben Powell had nowhere to go. They kept their contain and spread it out, whereas BPC has yet to been able to do that defensively.
3rd and 7 now for the Spartans.
I look for Jake Brown here.
Going to roll out, naked boot near side. Going to chuck one down the field. He's got an open receiver, but he's going to overthrow him by about 2 yards. And as you said, it was intended for number 20, Brown.
Well, I tell you, that says something about Jake Brown, though, because they double covered him, and he was outrunning 2 players, and they still had him open, but couldn't get the ball to him.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down now for the Spartans. Looks like they're going to bring in the punt team.
Dalton Huffman to punt, right?
I do believe so. Good snap, no pressure. End over end kick here towards the near sideline. It's going to take a bounce, and it's going to be, he's down. He can't get up.
He didn't pick it up till he got back up. That's what it was.
So Miller's going to pick it up, and it looks like Miller's going to return it for a possible touchdown as he shakes Dalton Huffman there at the end. But I'd like to see that again. I'm pretty sure his knees were on the ground.
It's too late. I was going to say, watch the YouTube stream. We can see the YouTube stream, folks, a little later so it's almost like a replay for us, but he ran so long that it was already played before the play was over. But I think what happened is he touched the ball, Jeff, like you talked about, but he didn't pick it up till he stood back up. Does that make any sense at all?
I know what you're saying. I just don't think I think he was still on the ground when he picked it up.
Well, maybe he was, but that's what they're saying. He was back up before he touched the ball or picked it up to take off running.
9:22 now in the first quarter. That makes the score 22-0. BPC once again putting themselves deep in a hole here early in the game.
Yeah, and the worst part is BPC on every one of these plays has had somebody in position to do something and has not taken advantage of it.
Direct snap into the backfield once again. This time it looks like he's going to be short. Sebastian Hill on the 2-point conversion attempt. It is no good. So at 9:22 remaining here in the first quarter, it is 22-0.
A lot to talk about here for BPC as they get ready for another offensive possession.
Farmers Emergent State Bank of Bushnell for over 100 years. Farmers Emergent State Bank of Bushnell has been serving the local community needs for personal and business banking as well as home and agricultural lending and its trust department. Stop by the main branch at 484 East Main Street or the drive-up facility on Cole Street to learn more. F&M is a member FDIC equal housing lender.
I want to say hi to Georgina Crenshaw, cheering for number 77. Dave Norton, as usual, watching us, and Hannah Ellis, thanks for joining us tonight. But not the way we wanted things to start if you're a BPC fan here.
We're not even a third of the way through the first quarter here, and the Lions have just found gaps and exploited them.
Sorry about that, folks. I was doing something else and forgot I was supposed to be running the camera.
So the kickoff this time is going to be a little deeper. Lane Huffman's going to come up on it, finally field it. He's going to take it across the right side and gets brought down after he crosses the 35 up near the 37-yard line.
Well, it's their best starting field position.
So
if
be first
means anything at this point.
Right. 1st and 10 for the Spartans now. Ball on their own 37-yard line. You hate to say it this early in the game that this is a must-score situation, but we need some points on the board here.
Yeah, and they're going to go for the pass right off the bat, it looks like.
4 wide receivers set. Hensley the lone setback. He's going to look to throw. He's going to look to throw. Going to pull it down now and look to run up the middle. He's going to have a short gain across the 40 up to around the 42-yard line.
Gain of about 5, but short 5, as you like to say, but it was a gain of 5. They dropped back into coverage. And I can't watch the backfield, but maybe a little zone coverage with the man under because they only had 2 people rushing.
Yeah. 2 wide receivers near side, 2 far side once again. Hensley going to step back, look to throw. He's going to throw one out here to the near sideline. Wide open receiver is going to be caught. That's Ben Powell on the reception. He's going to be down. Ball's going to come loose. Picked up by Brown and into the end zone he goes.
Can you advance a fumble?
You can. We learned that here a couple weeks ago. So it'll be a
from the 42 down to about the 13 for a pass completion. So 8 and 20 or 37 is 45. 45-yard pass completion, and then Jacob Brown picked it up at about the 5 and scored for a 5-yard touchdown fumble return. If all that made any sense to anybody.
2-point conversion is in.
Oh, they gave it to him. I don't know if that ball ever crossed the goal line. He faked me out to start with, so watch late, okay?
Oh yeah, he was inside. He was on.
He was, but I don't know if the ball ever did.
Ball was in his right hand.
No, it wasn't. It was in his left. I was watch a replay, folks. Hey, watch and tell us if it was in his left hand or his right hand.
Well, 2-point conversion is good. 8:24 to go in the first quarter. Spartans finally find pay dirt. 22-8 the score.
Let's see if anybody answers it. It probably was the right hand. I'm trying to watch through the camera, but it's fun to argue about it.
Webb Family Farms has been growing corn, soybeans, and Spartans for 5 generations. Nathan, Lisa, Jamie, Cyrus, Terry, and Linda wish all BPC Athletics good luck this season. So we got the points issue out of the way. Able to get some on the board here, cut it down to a 2-score lead now.
Now, if the last offensive possession was a must score,
this is a must stop here.
This is a must stop.
Yeah.
Here. I would say that for the rest of this quarter, it almost has to be a must stop, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Bittner does the kicking. It's going to be kicked here to the near sideline. Going to be caught at about the 30. And the return man number 6, Kyler Reiterman, going to kneel it down right there. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions at their own 32-yard line.
That's something you don't see very often.
Yeah, we had one of those things too where they're not set up to return. They're more of a block. So if you got the ball, you just, at the risk of, fumbling or whatever, you just kneel. But, I mean, he still had 15 yards in front of him.
You'd think a kid wearing number 6 would be a ball carrier, not a not a guy like a number I'd be wearing. You know what I'm saying?
So that looks like number 11 once again in the backfield. He's going to take the direct snap, take it off the right side, and he's going to have another great big hole down the far sideline across the 50 into Spartan territory down to around the 39-yard line.
I need to pay more attention here and see what defensive front BPC is in. It went from the 32. That's 18.
With a 29-yard gain.
18, 28, 29, yeah. You nailed it, kid. Who said you needed to take your shoes off? Did you use your hands twice?
I didn't. I just did simple
arithmetic.
Plus 5s. 1st and 10 now inside Spartan territory. Direct snap to, I believe that's number 2, Miller this time. He's going to have it up to around the 35-yard line. Looks like he's going to have a gain of 4.
There's Taylor's name. You guys mentioned last week that he went a couple weeks without saying his name at all, and I've got said his name finally here about halfway through the first quarter, and BPC is in a 3-4 right now. So it'll be interesting to see if they change that up as the game goes along.
And whistle from the far side.
Ben Powell lined up in the neutral zone. They call a false start.
Trying to see what we're not getting any indication here yet.
Illegal formation? And the referee's waving his arms. I don't know if anybody knows what's going on.
Well, I know they're going to mark the they're going to mark it off 5-yard penalty against the Lions.
I wonder if they didn't have enough people on the line of scrimmage. You have to have 5 on the line of scrimmage, and I wonder if one of them wasn't too far back.
So here, a 2nd and 11, direct snap to Miller, it looks like, and he's going to get wrapped up by Horwittle.
Manuel Rout, number 24 for the Lions on the carry.
Sorry, that was 24 Rout on the carry.
Number 10, Dalton Horwittle.
Horwittle on the tackle. It's going to bring up a third, and we're going to call it 9.
Yeah, the Spartan defense got a little help with that penalty, and this is a big play, big couple plays, because you're pretty obvious, I think, at this point that probably they'll go for it if they get to a 4th down. This is probably 2-down territory for LSA.
So here on 3rd, and we're going to call it 8 now after they put the ball down. Direct snap's going to be a handoff this time to number 11. He's going to have the first down and then some. He's going to be all the way down to about the 11-yard line.
Is that the first handoff?
Yep.
First misdirection of any kind, really. Everything else was straight snap and run. Wasn't even really any. I haven't seen any counter moves by even the direct snap running, or I guess, would you call it? They're quarterbacks because they're getting the snap right. But
right.
They're like a running back because they're not really handing the ball off ever. But I haven't even seen any counter type motion from them. They've just ran directly to where they're going.
And the direct snap once again to the backfield here. I believe that's number 2 this time. He's going to try to get it outside, and he's going to get it into the end zone, I believe.
Well, now they're calling a penalty. There's a penalty marker down.
There's
holding.
a flag back on the.
Right there. At the 8-yard line, 9-yard line or so. I think hold is what I saw was a preliminary call.
Miller on the carry.
So he'll get a gain of 3.
Bringing that touchdown run back.
A gain of 3, and then they'll lose 10 on the penalty. So BPC just not able to do anything here with these direct snap runs. I mean, I don't know what else. They just are not getting in position. It's a direct snap run, left, right, or middle, and they've not been able to stop them at all. One handoff thus far is all they've had.
So direct snap to number 11 once again. He's going to take it off the far side, and he's going to have a gain of about 10.
Yep, gets the holding penalty back. I feel like we'll have a timeout on the field. Charge to LSA. The first time out of the contest, charge to the Lions. And we'll take a break as well and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH right after this.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
And we're back here at LSA High School. Score is 22-8.
Oh, I forgot to do the scoreboard.
As soon as I said that, I looked down there and I was just like, hey, we have a scoreboard on there that's not.
I apologize, everybody.
So it'll be 2nd and about 6 for the Lions down on the Spartan 9-yard line. If they weren't in 4-down territory before, they definitely are now, Dwayne.
Right. Well, unless they have a field goal kicker. I mean, I've never seen anybody do that in 8-man football.
But they do have the goalpost, so.
They do. So it is a option, I suppose. I think, isn't it?
It is. Going to be a direct snap. He's going to take it up the middle. He's going to run away from some would-be tacklers, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. Number 2, Leighton Miller on the 9-yard touchdown run. They've now ran 11 plays for 204 yards here in the first quarter. Still just under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. So the 2-point conversion attempt on the way for the Lions.
BPC has shown an ability to score and move the ball if they have the ball, but they have not showed any ability to stop this Lions offense.
Direct snap, and this time it's going to be some confusion in the backfield, and he's going to be held up as number 11, Harshman once again. So the 2-point conversion is no good. 5:50 remaining here in the first quarter. 28-8 is the score. M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to finish your new home or replenish an old one, stop in and see the fine folks at 41 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at mbfurniturinc.com. You can also call at 309-772-2111. Higher.
Left hand.
Either way, it's 2-point conversion's good. I don't care what hand it was in.
It's not very often I'm right, Jeff. Give it to me.
You know, not the way you talk about it, though. You'd think he's never wrong.
Oh, I'm wrong all the time, unfortunately. Lone Bear, thank you for the answer.
That kind of goes back to the Major League movie. What do you mean it was too high? Who cares? It's gone.
This is a varsity game, by the way, for anybody watching. There was some question about that. It is varsity.
So ball teed up, ready to go here. This kick's going to come to the near sideline, going to be picked up by Lane Huffman. He's going to try to find a hole, bring it outside. Breaks a couple tackles, spins off 2 more would-be tackles, and finally gets brought down, but not before he gets up close to the 38-yard line. And as we've seen, Lane just needs that small little crease to hit it, and with as strong and as fast as he is, we saw him last week take a couple of those to the house.
You know, and the thing about Lane is he's only a freshman, but he's got a great spin move. That's the thing that, if you notice, he either uses his speed. If he can't get outside of you, that spin move is his go-to thing, and he spins both directions.
Yep.
Which is not an easy thing to do. A lot of times a guy can spin one way but not the other as well.
We're going to come out in the offset power eye this time. Going to be direct handoff. And it was going to be a fake on the – it was a fake handoff with a bootleg here to the near side. Intended receiver was Brown.
All the way across the field. That was a hard pass for Sam Hensley to make. You're rolling to your left and throw all the way back across the field to your right. He was about 15 yards short, and the Lions defender was the only one close to it. But that's a lot to ask of a quarterback, being a senior or not. That's a long throw, even on a narrower field.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 now for the Spartans. 3 wide receivers far side, 1 near side. Hensley going to drop back, look to throw. He's going to pull it down and run it up the middle. And he's going to have enough for a first down. He's going to have a gain of what looks like to be, well, looks like they're going to give him a little extra there.
12 or 13 yards.
I was thinking it was going to be an 11-yard gain, but okay, they are going to put it down right at the 49, so an 11-yard gain for Hensley.
Yeah, I thought it was like you. They're going to move it back to, or move it up to the 50, but you were right. They did move it back. They must have heard you.
I need to talk softer.
I guess that wasn't a good time for him to hear us, was it?
In tight split backfield. Going to quick pitch out to the far side. I think that was Horwood on the carry. He's going to have it across midfield.
Nice tackle over there. I can't see that number. 74, 24?
24. Horwood is going to have it across to the Lion 49-yard line.
Good open field tackle. Broke down, went right to the legs of Horwittle, brought him down on a short gain. 2nd and 8.
Three wide receivers near side, 1 far side. Hensley's going to look to pass. Got wide open Ben Powell in the flat. He's going to hit him. Ben tried to spin off the first tackler and got tripped up. It'll be a gain of 7.
Yep. 3rd and 1. And now, never mind. Thought I heard a whistle. I thought the referee was going to wave his arms for a timeout. He just put his arms up and then didn't wave them.
So bring up a 3rd and short here for the Spartans. They're going to spread the field with 4 wide receivers. Hensley's going to drop back, look to throw. He's going to be pressured out, take it to the far sideline. Little pump fake. He's going to have enough for a first down and some more. He's going to go down the far sideline. Finally forced out of bounds at around the Spartan, the Lion 27-yard line.
Second first down on the drive and a second first down of the half. They've scored a touchdown, but that was not after a first down, was it? That was on the first down play, wasn't it?
Yes. So about 17 yards on that. Did I put the ball at the right spot?
There's 21. Well, yeah, you did. Sorry, I forgot where I was looking at the wrong down marker. I thought he was farther downfield than that when he ran out of bounds.
Handoff to the near side this time. Big hole for, I believe that's Horwittle.
It is. He's going to go from about the 28 down to
the 13.
Yeah, 15-yard gain. Sorry, I'll try to help with that a little bit more, Jeff.
I like that one there. I had my head down right in one stat and looked up and we're running the ball. So 1 right receiver to the far side, split backfield. Handoff to the near side. Horwittle is going to break a tackle in the backfield, have it across the 10-yard line. Down to it looks like to be the Lion 9-yard line.
Looks like I'm going to mark it right at, well, I don't know. Far side looked like it was at the 10. Yeah, we'll give him a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 from the 9 now for BPC. I'll try to repeat that. That'll help us remember what down it's on, too, if I can.
2 wide receivers, split backfield this time. Going to be a toss sweep to Ben Powell. He's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. Ball's going to come loose. Spartans are going to recover it, but it's going to be a big
that
loss.
Was a late dive on the pile there by that kid at 54 or 64. Running off the field right there.
64.
Yeah, he piled on that pile really late. That's Ben Powell's second fumble of the game. He's going to lose from the 9 back to the 23. It's a 14-yard loss.
Going to look to pass, throw one out here in the flats. That was Horwittle. Nope. I think that was 16 Link.
It was.
The intended receiver, so it'll bring up a 4th and very long now for the Spartans.
Boy, the fumble will kill you in a game like this. And Ben got lucky on the first fumble. It was recovered by Brown, right?
Yep.
And for a touchdown.
Ran into a touchdown.
But this one was not quite so lucky. A loss of 14, and now it's 4th and forever.
For a wide receiver set for the Spartans. A lot of pressure, and the pressure is probably going to lead to the interception. It's going to be intercepted right around the 11-yard line.
Boy, if you're LSA, you'd rather have that hit the ground.
Right?
An incomplete pass doesn't look as good in the stat book, but I'll tell you what, if you that's a punt, essentially. If ever you're okay with an interception, that would be it.
Yeah, that's one usually as a coach you just want him to knock it down, and he actually dove to get to that one there. But
it'll look good on the highlight reel, though.
Yeah, and you can't fault the effort either. I mean,
no. That was number 4, I think, that had that 14 or 4 that had the interception.
Brandon Blakeman, number 4. There's no 14 on the roster.
Okay, so it's number 4. What grade's Blakeman?
He is a senior. So direct snap going to go to, is that number 11? Harshman once again on the carry.
Lewis on the stop.
Tackle on the play by number 60, Chris Taylor.
Or Taylor, excuse me.
Gain of 4.
Still in the first quarter, folks. It's 2nd and 6 now. 1:35 remaining in the first quarter. It's 28-8. The score is correct. I finally got that updated. I guess I could have left that alone on this one, couldn't I?
Direct snap going to be taken off the far side, and Miller just going to pick a hold and use his speed and elusiveness, and he's going to have it all the way up to about the 31-yard line.
Number 2, late Miller with another Lions first down.
17 yards from the 14, wasn't it?
Yep. So you got not a real tricky offense, just direct snap, and this is probably going to come off the right side. That's where his blockers are at, and it's going to be a high snap, and he's going to make 3 guys in the backfield miss. Finally going to get brought down. He's going to lose maybe about 4, but he made 3 guys miss in the backfield. That
Jake Brown's going to get partial credit for that tackle because he got blocked into the running back, and then Dalton Huffman came and finished it off. Ended up only losing 4 on the play, or 2. Lost more than 2.
Yeah, I marked 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. 3 at least, 4 it looks like to me, like you said.
Like I said, my stats aren't going to be right. I gave him 4. Second and long now for the Lions.
There's a little illegal motion maybe.
Another high snap, but they're just sealing off the would-be defenders, and that'll bring the first quarter to an end after a gain of about 10. So at the end of 1, it is 28-8 the score here.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards, or like circles, or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
And welcome back here to Decatur, Illinois. Just about to start the second quarter of action here from LSA High School. It is the LSA Lions 28, your Bushnell Prairie City Spartans 8. And Dwayne, that first quarter took all of 40 minutes to play, and it was pretty much all one-sided as LSA ran 15 plays for 225 yards in the first quarter.
Well, the fact that they only ran 15 plays and have 28 points is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of problems in that first quarter, but they're going to the wrong direction. BPC's got to go. I guess they did switch ends, didn't they?
So it's going to bring up a third, and we're going to call it 3 here for the Lions. Direct snap to the backfield, and Miller's going to take it straight ahead. And he's going to have a gain of about 6, it looks like, and it's going to be enough for a Lion first down.
I was going to say Sam did a good job staying home and getting out and making that tackle, but it tells you what kind of success they've had when you look at a play and say it was a good job and he still gained 6 yards.
Right.
They've had all kinds of success running football here, have the Lions.
Saw number 77, Tarek Hopping, actually get through the line of scrimmage there and forced him outside, I think, earlier than what he wanted to, and that helped Hensley come in and make the stop. Going to be the second handoff this time, a little inside reverse. Big stick there by Hensley at the end of the play, but he's going to have a gain of about 9.
Harshman felt that one.
It's about 9 yards on the play.
He was stuck up, and then Hensley just leveled him. He did gain a short 9 to bring up second down and 1. from the 48-yard line. It's the only nice thing, or one of the nice things about BPC scoreboard, they have ball on mark.
Right.
So you can glance at the end of the play real quick and see where the ball was at.
Yep.
I used to cheat off that all the time, but you can't do that here.
So here on 2nd and 1 for the Lions. Direct snap, that's going to be Miller once again. He's going to take it straight to the middle, and he's got a whole lot of running room, and no one's going to catch him, and he's going to go in from 48 yards
out.
And a touchdown. So 48-yard touchdown run there by number 2, Leighton Miller. I'll make the score 34-8. 2-point conversion attempt on the way. If there's any solace to this, we have stopped the last 2-point conversion attempts. Direct snap up the middle. We're going to stop another one as well.
Hodgkins, is that number 73?
I believe it is. Wyatt Hodgkins in there on the stop for the Spartans. So 10:36 remaining here in the first half. That makes the score 34-8. The Lions on top of your Bushnell Prairie City Spartans. Heil Enterprise and Heil Trucking can take your product down the road near or far. Also offers top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. The second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support BPC Athletics. Stop in and see Danny or Travis on Route 41 south of Prairie City, or call them at 309-775-3333. McDonough District Athletic Trainers and MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell, Macomb provide expert help to Spartan student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. MDH McDonough District Hospital, more than a hospital care, a hospital caring.
You notice that something we haven't talked about on these kickoffs for the Lions. They have 2 kickers, one left-footed and one right-footed, and they kick it to the left side sometimes, and sometimes they kick it to the right side. We haven't really talked about that.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter which one of them sets the ball up. They both.
Yeah, this one here sets it up, and that's your left-footed kicker. And when they both run up, and one of them, I say if you zoom in there, number 24 and number 9. And that was number 9 that kicked that one. It's going to be fielded by Dalton Huffman, who's going to take it off the left side of the field, the far side of the field, up to around the 44-yard line. I think he's going to be just short of the 45.
They have not done 2 kickoffs the same, and that's their 5th kickoff. 4th kickoff.
So it'll be Spartans 1st and 10 here from their own 44-yard line. And last time I said it worked, so this is a must-score situation.
Well, same formation, I think, isn't it?
4 wide receiver set. Hensley's going to find pressure off the far side. He's going to have it out to Dalton Horwittle in the flat, wide open. And Dalton's going to have a first down and a gain of about 12.
Yeah, that time in the flat. That's something we haven't seen BPC do a lot of, Jeff, is throw anything short. Pretty much everything they've thrown with any success has been deep downfield to Brown, and he's been double covered a lot, so it's good to see Hensley maybe go to a second read, or the coach is calling a second play for him.
This time a little wheel route to the far side. Ben Powell on the reception.
It's going to be a 10-yard gain. Well, maybe. Yep, 10-yard gain.
So the passing game getting them down the field pretty quick here. 4 wide receivers once again for the Spartans. Hensley going to look to throw. Going to pull it down, look up the middle, under pressure. Now roll out to the near side. Going to throw one. Oh, he put some air under that to Horwittle, who's standing by himself on the 10-yard line. Instead, he tried to line drive that one, and a line defender was able to jump up and knock it down.
It looked like Bittner might have almost got a hand on it, too.
We'll bring up a 2nd and 10. That'll stop the clock. 9:55 remaining here in the first half.
You got to give Sam credit. He's looking to run, but he never takes his head off downfield, which is something that you hear, even professional quarterbacks have a problem doing. Once they tuck the ball a little bit, they don't look downfield anymore.
4 wide receiver set once again. Hensley's going to have pressure here from the near side. Throws it out to the flats to Ben Powell, and it's going to be a gain of about 5, it looks like. See where they mark it. They might mark him back further.
I think they're going to take it right to the 30.
If they're going to have it just across the 30, they did mark his forward progress, so right at the 30-yard line. Gain of 4.
Is the clock supposed to start on an out-of-bounds play?
Hensley going to run through the pressure this time. Juke a guy at about the 25 and get up close to a first down. I think he'll have the first down.
Well, he got Durap face first pretty hard. It's going to be very close to a first down. Well, that's a measurable mark, isn't it?
Nope, he's giving him the first down, so give him a gain of 6 and a first down.
Well, I think it's a measure it or give it to him kind of thing.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Ball on the 24-yard line of the Lions. Offset power I this time. And they tried to go with the fullback up the middle. I think that was Horwittle, the intended running back, but
I don't think Sam wanted to give it to him. I think he wanted to fake it, and Horwittle took it. If you look back at Sam was almost looking like he.
I think Sam saw that they were bringing everybody up into that gap right there, and I think he wanted to pull and run with it, but Horwittle just clamped onto it, and it's going to be a loss of, we'll say, 2.
Horwittle knew he was supposed to have it, probably like you said, so he wouldn't let go of it, which I guess, can't really blame him, right?
Spread it back out for wide receivers. Pressure from the near side, and Hensley's, that's the unaccounted for defender right there. Hensley's going to get sacked. It's going to be a sack for only about 2 yards, though.
If you've been watching this, they've been doing a cornerback blitz on about every other play. If they have a 2-man line, they're bringing a cornerback or an outside linebacker, but he's lined up so far, he almost has to be a cornerback where he's lined up at. But they're doing that on almost every play, and that's the first time that he actually got there. But he had forced Sam to move up in the pocket several times.
You're going to have a blitz here off the outside. They got 2 guys coming in this time, and Sam knew it, and he didn't even look to throw. He was just looking for a running hole. He's going to have it across the 25 to back up to about the original line of scrimmage, so he's going to get back to 4 that they lost and bring up a 4th and 10.
They're going to rush or blitz like that. That's where slants come into it, right?
Yep.
Or quick outs or something of that nature, right?
Or even just a guy coming in where they're blitzing, like if they're breaking up the line, Horwittle just has to come right in. 2 wide receivers this time. Now they're going to spread it back out.
They have no down linemen here.
Going to roll out to the far side. Hensley looking to throw, and he's going to get wrapped up from behind and brought down, so it'll be a turnover on downs as he's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that did not work the way they had wanted it to. And as I mentioned there, Jeff, that's the first time I've noticed that they had no down linemen. They had no down linemen that time. They had linemen in there, but they weren't down in a position. So as the quarterback, probably it's hard to tell who's coming and who's not,
right,
what they're doing, who's dropping back or whatever. And they actually ended up bringing 4 people, I think, that time, and just didn't allow Sam a chance to see anybody downfield. Probably a time for BPC to maybe change the routes that the receivers are running here. I mean, you know that more than I do playing a cornerback position, obviously, but probably some slants and some either wide receiver screen, maybe something like that. Am I off base on that?
Nope, you're right. It's going to be a direct snap, though, here. I think that was
number 5. Sebastian Hill.
Sebastian Hill, the ball carrier. Going to have a gain of 8.
And they do such a good job of the direct snap stuff isn't all outside. It isn't all up the middle. They've done a good job of mixing it up. So you can't jam the middle. You can't spread the defense out too much.
Right, and it looks like, though, that every one of them start towards the center, but some are made to bounce out, like that one there, made to bounce outside. He actually got caught up in the backfield and bounces out here the opposite way, and he's going to have a whole lot of running room down the near sideline. He's finally just going to stop and get forced out of bounds by Hensley, but not before he gets to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he was from the 28, is that right?
So a 42-yard run.
Yep. Hit a good stiff arm in the middle of that on Jake Brown, too, if you were watching at home. Mrs. Dinger is watching at home.
Direct snap once again. This time it looks like number 24, the ball carrier. He's going to take it up off the right side and cut it back across the middle. And he's going to be down to about the 18-yard line.
You know who's going to be sore as heck tomorrow is Sam Hensley. He's running the ball on about 2/3 of the plays, and he's making about 2/3 of the tackles right now, too. The cornerback on the far side that time broke down and stopped and didn't pursue the running back as he turned back inside and had a position to make a tackle, just didn't follow through. He did turn him in, but he didn't follow through on a tackle.
Direct snap. This time it's going to be the handoff to Harshman on their inside reverse. He's going to power his way forward all the way down to about the 10-yard line.
He broke Nate Kramer's tackle, and that hasn't happened very many times this year either.
Give him a gain of 8 on the play. Direct snap to Miller once again. He's going to take it off the far side. And tell you what, he's not only fast, but he's elusive, and he's able just to shift that body just a little bit here and there. And he's going to have that one in for another touchdown for the Lions.
Yeah, broke a tackle by Horwittle and got in for the touchdown.
So now, Dwayne, what we got to worry about is with 4:46 remaining here in the second half, the 2-point conversion here could make it a, 42-8, and we're looking at the possibility of a running clock.
Yeah, you want to keep this close if you want to have any chance to get back into it.
Direct snap
I think
straight
there
up.
was a fumble.
It is.
There was. It was recovered by Jake Brown.
That one there, I was able.
No, Dalton Horwittle, or not Dalton. It was Dalton Huffman. Excuse me.
So that one there, I was able to notice something at the angle we were at. They had their 2 guys and the one in the back who's been normally getting the snap. They actually direct snapped it to one of the up closer men on that one. So there was a little bit of misdirection. 4:46 remaining here in the first half. It is 40-8 the score here from LSA High School. United Community Bank. United Community Bank services are designed to keep you in the game when you're on the go. With online and mobile banking that's nothing but net. 2 friendly services you can count on from the leader of community banking. Choosing UCB is always a slam dunk. Visit location near you with branches in Bushnell, Colchester, and 2 in Macomb. UCB, a member FDIC.
See who kicks it this time. You want to take bets?
No.
The righty kicked it last time, so does that mean the lefty's going to kick it this time?
We'll see. Is it going to be number 24 or number 9 on the kick? I think it's going to be number 9 this time. And he actually kicked it with his left foot.
Yeah, he did.
Going to be fielded by Huffman deep back around his own 22. He's going to get horse caught. That's like a clothesline tackle.
Yeah. Like off the top turnbuckle kind of deal right there. off the ropes, and if you're a wrestling fan.
That's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Spartans. Ball on their own 35-yard line. 4:39 remaining here in the first half.
This is a big drive for BPC. If they want to stay in this game and keep it respectable, they've got to put a drive together here, make something happen, and then play a good second half.
Split backfield for the Spartans. They're going to drop back and look to throw.
Right in the flat.
Plenty of time here. He's going to roll it out. Finally, he's just going to take off with it. And he's going to have it up to about the 41-yard line, a gain of 6 for Hensley.
Emmanuel Rout has played a pretty good game for them. He's a good tackler, number 24. He's out there, open field tackle on Hensley. And a gain of, 6, but 2nd down and 4 from about the 41-yard line.
Going to bring it back in tight to running backs in the split formation. Going to drop straight back, look to pass. Throwing down the near sideline, just under through Brown. Brown had a step on Miller. If he would have been able to get, I don't think he was able to step into that so much. I can see the replay here. Now, he kind of flat-footed that throw, Dwayne. If Hensley takes a step forward and puts a little into that, Brown's gone for a touchdown on that one.
Well, I mean, I know that your quarterback isn't supposed to do that, but he's had people in his face and been under pressure this whole time. So, he has to think they're coming.
Yeah.
And he wants to get rid of it. And I can understand that, but still, like you said, you have to take that step and you have to step into the throw.
Spread it out here on 3rd down. Drop back. He's going to be under pressure, and he's going to get brought down. Sack for the big man, number 75, Trent Collins. So that's going to be a loss of
7. He was at the 39, wasn't he?
No, it was more than that, I thought. I thought it was at the 41.
You're right, it was the 41. So a loss of 8.
So here on 4th down, Hensley's going to take the snap. He's going to roll out to the far sideline, try to escape one guy, finally just gets rid of it, throws it out of bounds. It'll be a turnover on downs, and this is going to give the Lions great field position here with 3:20.
BPC's defense has had very little, if any, answer for this Lions offense this far, but it seems like every time BPC gets a little something going, the Lions are able to make one defensive play, and once that one defensive play happens, the wheels kind of fall off on the drive. Whereas the Lions have had some penalties and some things happen bad for them, and they've been able to respond. BPC has not been able to do that thus far.
1st and 10 for the Lions. And the Lions are going to take a timeout. So we're going to take a break here. And we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit. And all the providers and staff are putting the patient first.
We love here in our clinic having kids come in and feel welcome and at home. To have kids who are excited to come in and see us, who we can make the doctor's office be less scary for them. That's what really makes every day worthwhile.
And we're back here in Decatur. Bushnell Prairie City Spartans trailing 40-8 here, 3:20 remaining in the first half.
1 hour and 10 minutes into this game, and we're still playing first half football. So 10 minutes of that was pregame, but
yeah,
we're
an hour in. We're an hour and 2 minutes in from kickoff. So
if kickoff actually happened,
actually kickoff happened at like 7:01 after the abbreviated
symbolic coin flip, right?
Yep. Direct snap right up the middle. That's Miller once again. He's going to bust it back outside, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. 34 yards and the touchdown. 24 plays here in the first half, 404 yards of offense.
And 7 touchdowns. It's not a bad first half.
And we've stopped the last 3 2-point conversions. If they get this one, it would, unless the Spartans can score here before halftime, it'll mean a continuous running clock in the second half. That'll definitely make things go a lot quicker. Direct snap, and he's going to run it up the middle, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. 3:12 remaining here in the first half. Score 48-8. The Lions on top of the Spartans.
Lions lead 48-8.
MTC Communications having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2021. MTC Communications offers lightning fast, reliable fiber internet, video phone services, and camera systems to McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check availability. And Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email, all for only $42 a year or $38 a year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville.
Now, I know you're the play-by-play guy, and I'm supposed to be the color guy, but in that huddle for this kickoff, what can a coach say to keep your kids playing when it's 48-8 in the second quarter?
You know what? I don't even know at this point. This is just, I mean, the main thing I'm going to say is you're going to roll over and die, or are you ready to, you got to keep fighting? Kickoff's going to be fielded by Lane Huffman, and he's going to return it back up to the 38-yard line. And then that's a kid right there that, he's never going to quit. And I don't think any of these Spartans are going to quit.
But it's you're not quitting, but it's pretty hard to be excited.
It is.
And to do the little things that you have to do to be successful, really hard to do when it's 48-8.
Yeah, when you're down 40 points here in the first half, it gets you down mentally, but this is where you have to decide, I'm not giving up. Let's get this in the end zone before,
Horwittl's in at quarterback.
4 wide receiver set. Horwittl's going to look to throw. A little lefty throw out to the flat, and that's going to be a completion, but it's going to be a loss of 1 to
Ben Powell.
Is that Ben Powell?
It was. Yeah, it was Ben Powell.
Kyle Ryderman with a big tackle for a loss, bringing up 2nd and 11.
Four wide receiver set once again. Horwell's going to take the snap and roll to his left and then just kind of throw in at the feet of Ben Powell.
Intended for number 8, Ben Powell.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 11 now for the Spartans. That will stop the clock with 2:23 remaining here in the first half.
And Sam is standing over with his helmet on by Shane Shin, so don't think he's probably hurt since he has his helmet on, but
he is standing right there beside the athletic trainer as well.
Yeah.
4 wide receivers here on 3rd and 11 for the Spartans. Horwell going to drop back. He has time, no pressure, runs up in the pocket. Now he's just going to pull it down and look to run with it. He's going to power his way forward. He's going to have a gain of about 8, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 3, we're going to call it.
Daniel McCormick on the tackle. That's the first time they've called his name. But it's 4th down and 4 for BPC from the 46-yard line. Under 2 minutes to go now here in the first half. It's 48-8. BPC trying to make something happen here on a 4th down play at the 46-yard line. It's 4th and I guess 3, isn't it?
3 wide receivers near side, 1 far side. Here on 4th down for the Spartans. Going to roll out to the near side. Just going to lob one up there. Out into the flat, no one in the area. The closest receiver was Brown, but he overthrew him by about 7 yards.
Yeah, it looks like they all came back and he threw the lob thinking they were going to keep going. And 1st and 10 for the Lions at the BPC 46-yard line. And you have to think at some point they call the dogs off here, but at the same point it's still the first half. You might see them score, if they can, score one more touchdown just to make sure BPC doesn't get the ball back and make some fluke happen for the second, to make you have to score something in the second half.
Right. And you also have to ask yourself here in that kind of situation, and we see Hensley on the sideline, we see him back in on defense now, but you wonder if they just didn't bring Horwell in for a change-up, or what exactly was going on there.
Maybe just a breather, because Hensley was getting beaten up on both sides of the football.
So here on first down, after the turnover on down, is going to be a direct snap. He's going to look to bring it outside. That's Harshman once again. He's got a big gain down the near sideline. I believe that was Lane Huffman that cut him off. So Lane Huffman cuts him off, and him and Hensley make the tackle, but not before he's down to about the 15-yard line.
Hensley is tired. There is no doubt. If you watched him get up, he got up really slow. Now the Lions are right back on the football. They're not wasting any time. They want to get a touchdown before the halftime to solidify that running clock in the second half.
Miller going to take it off the direct snap, and he's going to take it off to the far sideline, just trying to use of his lucidness, and he makes one Spartan miss out there in open field, and he's going to have a gain of about 13.
Sam Hensley is gain of 13, a 1st and goal inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line, it looks like. Maybe the 3. We'll see where they mark it at. Can't really see the down markers over there. It looks like, does that look like the 4 to you?
Looks about maybe the, we're going to call it the 3.5, so that way we're both right.
There you go. I don't know what it is.
I'm looking at where he's standing down here, but he's kind of standing right in between the hash marks, so we're going to say it's 1st and goal from about 3.5 yards away.
So technically, if he scores here, it'd be a 4-yard touchdown run.
Well, they're my stats.
Well, that's true. It should on TV tonight in Decatur, say a 4-yard touchdown run.
Direct snapped. I believe that's Harshman, and he's just pretty much going to trot it right into the end zone.
Ganon Harshman, touchdown, Lions.
Well, you and I talked at a couple points this week about the 2 forfeits that they had and wondered what it was. If they had 6 kids, they seem to be getting healthy. This is a pretty good football team.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. I mean, there's absolutely zero fancy about what they're doing. They get the ball and they run a direction for the most part and dare you to try to stop them.
And I tell you what, that Leighton Miller, he has got some speed, and he's pretty elusive out there too. So the 2-point conversion here to look to make the score 56-8. Direct snap
to Hill.
I think that was Hill. He's going to be met at the goal line, and he's going to get in for the 2-point conversion. So 56-8 the score here from LSA High School here in Decatur, Illinois. It's the Bushnell Prairie City Spartans 8 and the LSA Lions 56.
Exactly 1 minute remaining on the second quarter clock. Go ahead, sorry.
Rosie's Pizza offers something for everyone with pasta, sandwiches, and, of course, pizza. Dine in or carry out at 458 East Main Street in Bushnell. They also deliver to Good Hope, Adair, and all points in between. For delivery, call 772-2101. I mean, the one thing that's missing on there is tacos, because their tacos are amazing.
That's true. They I can't thank them enough for all they've done to support TSSR Game Time Live. They hopped on very early on and hopped back on again this year, so we greatly appreciate everything they do to help out. And I go up there a lot after volleyball games when I'm home because it's the place that's still open. And, there's some people in there to talk to all the time. And it's a great family to talk to. So that whole Lentini family is awesome. And thank you very much for everything you guys do to help bring this to you, even though this isn't the kind of game we came over to see, that's for sure.
And you can always guarantee that the food's going to be good.
Yes. And hot because they make it after you ask for it.
So this time the far kicker is going to kick it. He's going to try to kick it over Lane Huffman's head. He's going to field it at about the 20. Lane's going to bring it near side, hurdle one guy, get wrapped up, and finally forced out of bounds. But a good return of about 11 yards for Lane all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they have really controlled Lane as better than anybody we've seen, varsity or JV. they've done a good job. I mean, he's had some tremendous JV games, but he's also done about the same thing in varsity.
Yeah, we made the comment last week because he had an amazing game last week in the varsity contest, and I actually asked Rodis after the game. I said, how's your future look when you got to pull your freshman running back to keep you from running the score up? So it looks like.
I kind of wonder. When you started talking about Rosie's, this is exactly what I was going to say. I would not be surprised to see BPC try to run the clock out here and just get this half over with.
They will get the ball to start the second half.
With the running clock, though, it isn't going to make a whole lot of difference. You can't score that many points with a running clock no matter how good you come out and play. So there's no reason to, with this last minute here, you're not going to change the outcome of this game at this point. I mean, you might change the score, but you're not going to change the outcome.
Yep, and the direct snap's going to go right to Dalton Horwittle, and he's going to take 2 knees, and that's going to effectively bring the first half to an end. Not the first half, like as Dwayne said, not the first half we expected making the drive down here, but the score is 56-8.
So we'll take a break. Be a couple-minute break here, folks, so you can take one with us as well if you want to. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, with some stats per Jeff this time instead of Chris. So we'll have to get a critique from Chris a little bit later, but we'll be back right after this.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
Some farmers I know swear by a name, say they'd never operate anything else. Well, here are a few names for my Fendt 900 Gen 6 series. Fuel Saver, Time Maximizer, Game Changer. I like those names.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True Convection Cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Welcome back here to LSA High School. We're going to catch the end of the performance here by the cheerleaders. And about 30 seconds ago, they did a little aerial basket toss, and the girl came down. And I thought they dropped her. It was actually planned, but she literally went face first towards the ground and then somersaulted out of it. And I'm glad it was a commercial because I kind of yelled a little bit because I thought she was going to fall face first right on the field, Dwayne.
Yeah, you actually said she just dropped her. They just dropped her on her face, but then after we watched it a split second, you knew what was going on. But they did a nice little routine there. It's always cool to see the cheerleaders get out on the field at halftime. Kind of surprised they don't have a marching band here. They got a pretty decent sized band. Of course, that drum set wouldn't march very good, would it?
It wouldn't. You have to get a little cart and pull them, I guess. So, I mean, you can still do it.
You can do it. The field's probably rough. The cymbals would be rattling when they're not supposed to be. And sorry, I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
So some first half, we'll call them sort of stats. We'll see how close I actually am on them. Leading rusher for the Spartans is actually going to be Sam Hensley. He's got 9 carries for 40 yards. He's going to be followed up by Dalton Horwittle, who technically has 8 carries for 21 yards. Correction. Yeah, 8 carries for 21 yards, and that's counting the 2 kneel downs there at the end. Without the kneel downs, he's got 6 carries for 31 yards. Hensley is 5 for 10 passing. Ben Powell with 5 of those receptions for 65 yards. And then the assist to the 13-yard fumble recovery to Jake Brown, which gives us the 8 points that we have on the scoreboard. For the Lions, all I'm doing is keeping their total yardage. They have ran, let me see here. They've ran 27 plays for 451 yards here in the first half.
That's craziness. We're watching a homecoming court now. I guess it is homecoming. So I guess if you're going to have a homecoming game, it's kind of like BPC's big homecoming win last week over Galva. This is the kind of game you want to have during it, right?
Yeah, it's always nice to get a win on homecoming, and then, as you said, when you can get a big win on homecoming, it's even better.
Yeah, it makes your for your seniors, it makes your class reunions a little more fun.
That is true. As we see the pickup trucks with the homecoming court in the back, and then
a Jeep and a convertible and a, I don't know what the third one is.
Looks like another convertible. Looks like maybe one of the not old Firebirds, but the remake of the Thunderbird they did a few years back, I believe. See a TJ out there, as you said, a Jeep.
It's an old Jeep for those people keeping score at home. 1994 to 2006. Boy, I've been out of Steinjager too long. But I was close.
I just know it's 90. I just know it's 2006 to 2007 was the first year for the JK. So.
And then the TJ. No, what's the longer?
The LJ.
The LJ was in 2000. Wasn't that in 2004 when the longer TJ?
No, because I think the Steinjager one's like a 99 LJ.
Is
or
it?
98
Maybe it was
LJ.
98 then. Maybe it was 98 then.
I don't know. I'm sure if Johnny's listening or watching, he'll shoot me a text and tell me what year
well,
that
he could
is.
just answer in the live chat. But do want to thank everybody that's chiming in on the live chat. Kathy Dinger, as we said, Mrs. Dinger, joining us tonight. Lone Bear, I'm not sure who that is. Did ask who BPC had lost to. BPC before tonight had lost to West Central and Peoria Heights. They will be, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be negative, but it would take a miracle to not lose this contest at this point. So they'll be 3-3 after this week.
You mean take a miracle? Yeah, to not lose this.
Yeah,
I see what
to
you're
not
saying.
lose this game. The Jeep TJ is swerving back and forth about threw the girl out of the back. That's something you'd do in your JKU, right?
No. I think he's just trying to find a nice little hole out there to flex in.
You think that's it? That doesn't look like a flexing Jeep to me.
Well, it does look like a Rubicon.
It does, but it doesn't look like it doesn't got flexing tires and doesn't look like it's an off-road flexor is what I'm saying. That looks like a mall
crawler.
Mall crawler, not a rock crawler.
Now to be fair, I actually did learn this. That's just a stock Jeep. That's a stock Rubicon.
Yes.
That your mall crawler is the one that puts all the fancy stuff on it,
right,
but never takes it off of the pavement.
Yeah.
So we'll give this guy credit. He's actually just a Jeep owner.
Yes. Mall crawler is the guy that here's the lion. The mall crawler crawls over the parking blocks in the mall, and that's about it, right?
I'll tell you what, I don't know last time you were at the mall just north of us there, but you'd almost need a Jeep to get through that parking lot.
Touche. Point well taken. Why do you have all your Jeep group meetings at the Carl Sandburg Mall parking lot? You go drive through it and you'll see why.
We're still trying to find one in a pothole out there that we missed.
We lost him. We think he got home, but we're not real sure.
So homecoming here at LSA High School, is we got their homecoming court going in front of us here. We're about
9 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, as I say, just around 9.5 minutes till we're back to football action. And I would like to point out that I did call that Thunderbird, the remake of the reintroduction of the Thunderbird, or late model Thunderbird, if you will.
You did. Those things were not very attractive.
They're still not. Not only were they not.
No, I mean, the old one is more attractive than the new one. No offense to whoever owns this car, but I did know some people love the Ford Thunderbirds, but I was never real impressed, and I'm even less impressed with the new ones. Do they still make them, or was that a very short?
That was a very, very short idea. I just remember, and I'm sure if my dad's still watching the game, he could tell me what year it is, but I think my grandma had like a late 70s or early 80s Thunderbird that was, like 30 foot long. And
right.
Grandpa one day thought he'd had the great idea and put up he put a backup beeper on it. And I just remember being down there at their house when she came home after putting it in reverse the first time, and I would think that's the first time I ever saw my grandma angry about having a backup beeper on the back of that boat.
Well, I'm old, so I had a few of those big boats as cars. I had a 76 El Camino was my first car. It had it had a 305 in it, but you could have put two 305s
right
in the engine compartment. Then my next car was a 79 Pontiac, not Firebird. Not a Chevy Monte Carlo, but the same thing. Drawing a blank.
Like a Tempest?
No, it was a shoot. Anyway, it had T-tops. It was the coolest thing. It had a big block 400. That thing would fly, man. It'd just float. I mean,
a Firebird?
No. I'm going to have to look.
You're going to have to look because.
I'm going to have to look because now it's going to annoy me. Somebody who's at home can probably tell me.
Some NCAA football action tonight. Big Ten action. Iowa on top of Maryland right now, 24-7.
Both those teams undefeated in the Big Ten.
Are you asking or are you telling?
That's what I heard earlier, I do believe.
Well, give me just a second and I will look. Maryland was 4-0 coming into the contest, and I know Iowa was undefeated, hence their number 5 ranking in the nation. Some Major League Baseball action going on. The Cardinals at the end of 4 are up 2-0 over the Chicago Cubs, and talk about
they're playing okay, aren't they?
They're I think they're like 18 out of their last 20 games. I think September 10th was like their last loss.
They won. They just
not last loss. They just lost the other night to break the streak. But
they won 17, and then they started winning again.
Yeah,
they lost that one after 17, and then they've won 2 in a row since then, right? Or one.
They won last night, and then if they hold on
Grand
tonight,
Prix, Pontiac Grand Prix. How did I not remember that?
I don't know.
Pontiac Grand Prix is what it was. That thing had a front end that was as long as this booth up here that we're standing in. Well, maybe half as long as this booth. It was long.
Is this a booth?
I don't know what this is called. We're on top of the crow's nest, but it does have a railing, so we can kind of call it a booth, right? I don't know either. Folks, normally we would have a lot more to talk about, or we would talk about a lot more things, but yeah, Dave Norton said a Pontiac Grand Prix. I doubt that he remembered that I had a Pontiac Grand Prix, but he knew what I was talking about. Same as a Monte Carlo. I knew that, but I couldn't remember what it was. That's horrible. I knew Dave Norton would be there to help me out. You have a pretty active live chat tonight. That's always fun, especially when games are like this, talking to people back home, seeing what's going on. all kinds of fun stuff like that. But they have a good crowd here. We've had some good crowds at BPC, too. It's been awesome to see good crowds coming out to football games again.
Yeah, and that was one thing that we talked with Rodis last week about the game, because last week for homecoming, there was an amazing crowd there, you know, really on both sides of the field. And then, you know, he knew we'd get the parents and stuff here. And I've even seen some of the BPC sitting on this side of the field. And, of course, the other fans there on the other side of the field as well.
I will tell you, it's a long ways just to get to this side of the field. And our bleachers are on the other side of the field. It's a long ways over there.
It is.
Sorry, I pulled a Miles, didn't have my light out for later, so I wanted to get my light out. So Miles should be doing the West Prairie game. We could pull up the West Prairie game on one of our phones and see how that's going. Hopefully it's going okay. We've been having all kinds of internet issues back home, so hopefully it's – my phone hasn't been working since we started using it here, so hopefully they haven't sent us messages with a catastrophe of some sort.
And one thing I've noticed with the Lions, and they've been playing a song down there on with the pep band, but I think that's about the third or fourth time I've heard Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle played on the PA system here. So
they like good music.
So South Fork, it looks like, at West Prairie High School. That score is West Prairie 20, South Fork 8, it looks like.
Nice. As there's Kenny bringing a little play-by-play to you over we could set it in front of the camera and see if it'll focus on it. There's probably a good way to go in live to what they're doing if I knew how to do it on our system. What quarter is it?
Looks like third quarter action there at West Prairie High School on homecoming, also at West Prairie.
It is. That's good.
Looks
like
like
a good win for them, hopefully.
West Prairie trying to get the homecoming football win
and improve to 2-4 on the year.
So give a little.
See if Kenny is watching the live chat or not. Jeff is responding to Kenny or messaging Kenny in the live chat on the other on the other channel. Only 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I just heard the same thing there. So
no, that's what I heard it off of.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought maybe you had it up too.
No.
And we're I'm guessing we're still about 5 minutes away here, Dwayne. I don't know if they put the 3 minutes back up, or maybe they did. We might be just 2 minutes away here from action. 56-8 to score here from LSA High School. If I'm not mistaken, though,
if you're not mistaken,
I'm trying to bring something up here real quick. So we actually will make the trip almost to the same location next weekend as we come down and we play Kincaid South Fork, who West Prairie is playing right now.
At Kincaid South Fork next Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yep. So we'll be making that trip down here next week, and then also another Saturday game, but that'll be a home game on the 16th against Freeport, and then we'll go on the road to end things. I'm going to make the trip
to Pawnee,
down here to the same area once again to Pawnee.
Well, it's that. No, we're east of Springfield. You go straight south of Springfield.
Yeah, I mean they're all right down
same
here
distance,
within the
pretty
same.
Much,
yep.
They'd be like a similar conference if we had conferences. I heard some rumblings that Rova could become a couple 8-man teams, and that whole Galva group that was together with Islewood and Rova and all that. Galva, of course, split off, become 8-man. Now they're talking about the other two splitting off and becoming 8-man and adding some teams up our way and maybe making a conference out of the deal. And should be nice if you could get enough teams in your area to not have to travel like this is. But
right.
But I think it's coming. 8-man football, folks, is here to stay.
Yeah,
it's not a temporary thing. It's here to stay. And if you're going to have football, that's what you're going to have.
It's an unfortunate, circumstances as schools are having lower enrollments. There's less population of kids now.
And less kids want to play too.
Yep, I was going to say, and that's what I was getting into is and with fewer kids in the school, there's fewer kids to draw from to play, and it's just.
And a lower percentage of those kids that are left want to play.
Yep.
So it's just, and it was the 3 minutes had already been put back on, so we're ready to go. We'll be running clock, as Jeff pointed out earlier, here in the second half. So we might catch them in a 20-8 game. We'll have to see if we get done before West Prairie. They're about to the end of the fourth quarter, but we'll run through it pretty quick.
So they have the ball teed up here on the 40. Going to be a kick over to the left side, the far side of the field. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go out of bounds about the 34, so that will mark it back at the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 Spartans from the 35-yard line.
Once again, we do want to thank everybody who's watching at home and everybody that takes time to join in the live chat. We do have a lot of fun with that.
And no time will run off the clock since no one touched the ball.
Yeah, it never started, so you couldn't keep it running.
4 wide receivers set for the Spartans.
Sam is back at quarterback.
He's going to drop back, look to throw to the flat, and he's actually going to complete the pass to the official.
Has nice hands.
I think that was more of a protection catch than it was. He about got it right in the old breadbasket.
Neither here nor there. He caught it. Some of the best catches you'll ever see are out of pure protection, right?
That's true. So normally I would have said that would stop the clock, but as I got ready to say it, I was like, nope, no, it doesn't. Not.
I don't expect to see either team run very fast to the line of scrimmage here in this second half.
Going to take the handoff and fake the pass. He's got a wide open wide receiver down the field, and it's going to be Jake Brown, and he's going to have it for a 65-yard touchdown, something we've seen numerous times out of those two so far this year. But Hensley with the naked boot here to the near sideline, and nobody even around Jake Brown.
Well, I'm going to say that I'm guessing that LSA didn't expect BPC to come out throwing the football. Not that I blame BPC for wanting to get some points on the board and get some, get some confidence back, but
going to be a toss sweep for the 2-point conversion to Ben Powell, and he's going to have it in for the 2-point conversion. So 10:30 and counting. It'll be 56-16 the score now here from LSA High School in Decatur.
Isn't this the one time the clock is supposed to stop?
Usually on the change of possession, but I don't think anyone's probably going to complain too much.
No. They let it run right now. It's going to take a lot of time off the clock.
It is.
Have we read all the sponsors?
I got one left. Take that back. I have 2 left.
2? Ouch. Did you hear that at home? Did you hear that pop? I'm getting too old to stand this long. Sorry, Jeff. I'll shut up now.
Hensley Grain in rural Bushnell has a long family history of taking an active role in Bushnell Prairie City School District and especially Spartan athletics. Good luck, Spartans, in 2021, and enjoy the. Well, I guess that's an old read. The shortened athletics. It's not shortened anymore. So
this fall campaign that actually is a true fall campaign.
So I think what I'm going to do is
scratch that out. Yeah, I saw that, and I haven't changed. I changed one, and I printed it off, and I left it at the JV game, but Kenny apparently took it with him.
So Bittner to do the kicking. He's going to kick it down the center. I guess that's the far side of the field. I was going to say center, but It's going to be fielded at about the 35-yard line, so
my two-dimensional depth of field let me think it was the center, too. If you follow on the camera, I was following it down farther, and it went way farther off to the right than I thought it was going to.
And just with the angle that I was standing, I was like, oh, it's down the center of the field, and it bounced over by the numbers. I'm like, that's not the center of the field.
That's not where I thought it was going either. I feel your pain.
So 1st and 10 for the Lions, ball on their own 34-yard line. So we've effectively used about a third of the third quarter here so far.
I forgot Miles is running the camera, and I noticed it was bouncing back and forth. He has to use the little camera tonight, so he's probably struggling with the little camera, even though it's easier than this big one to use. But
direct snap up the middle, and a short gain this time, as it looks like got some new numbers in there.
Number 9 or 8? Can you
Looks
see it
like
on the
number
screen?
8, Cameron Jones.
No,
on
it's
the
number
carry.
9.
No,
Do you have a number 9?
I was looking here. Number 8 came
the
on.
the long-haired one is the one that came up with. Is that number 8?
Well, that's number 9, Christian Zentera.
I think the long-haired one was the one that came up with it, right?
I thought it was 8 that got off the bottom.
I don't know. I can't. This little screen, I can zoom in, but it's so small on this little screen, I can't look at the TV or at the big screen.
Now it's number 5 on the carry.
Hill.
And he's going to get wrapped up after a short gain. Give him a gain of about 1. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
One thing I have noticed is this place shakes a lot.
It does.
Not that it's scary shakes, but it shakes I don't know if it's shaking the camera a whole lot. Have you noticed it on the screen when you watch it? I noticed it on the camera, but I don't know. I mean, because I can feel the camera shaking.
Right.
But you could actually just do this if you want to, Jeff. We don't need the scoreboard except for occasionally. Is that easier for you?
Yeah. So this time the direct snap does go to number 9. He's going to bring it near side. He's going to get wrapped up by Dalton Huffman. Zentera, Christian Zentera on the run.
There's a flag on the field. 22, it looks like they were saying.
Holding on the offense. I say you just decline this and make it 4th and 6.
Yep, and they did decline it.
And that's what Coach Rodis is going to do. It's going to bring up a 4th and 6. So we're going to see the first punt, I do believe, tonight from the Lions. At least you hope it's a punt as you see number 11, you see number 2, you see their starters come back out on the field. And Harshman is back, it looks like, to do the punting duties.
And they did send a BPC for the first time, I think, all year, sent somebody deep.
Good, high, long kick to the far sideline. It's going to take a Lion bounce and out of bounds at around the 25-yard line.
That's a nice punt.
Yeah, BPC will take over 1st and 10 from their own 25. Good Hope Gardens located at 445 East Main Street in Good Hope, just east of the North Elementary School, open April through October, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4. For all your fresh produce needs, be sure to follow our Facebook page for daily updates. Currently, we have pumpkins and other fall goodies available. Grover and Mary Jane Decatur family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it's grown. Not gonna lie, I'm giving up on the stats too. 4 wide receivers set for the Spartans. Going to throw one down the far sideline. He's going to overshoot his would-be receiver, who is Brown. He was double-teamed over there on the far side.
You tell they've seen some video or talked to people because they have double-teamed Brown pretty much all night. A couple times they haven't been able to keep up with him, but they've double-teamed him all night.
Yeah, and that's one, I mean, when you go home and you look at the stats, 95% of the completions have been to Brown, so I think you're going to see something out here in the flat this time. 4 wide receivers, 3 near side. Going to throw one right over the middle to Horwittle. He's going to have a short gain of probably 3 on that.
That's a stop route?
Little stop right there. And they had a wheel route underneath and a post corner route behind it.
So you know the exact – I know most of the names, but I can't rattle them off like you do. I have to think about it a little more than you do.
I may or may not have been at practice yesterday. So Hensley looking to throw here. He's finally just going to pull it down. He's going to have enough for a Spartan first down and more. He's going to be down the near sideline, finally forced out of bounds, but not before he gets to the 40-yard line of the Lions.
And laid a hit, too. He wasn't going to go out of bounds without a little bit of a you're going to feel this in the morning.
About a 36-yard run there for Hensley.
I thought we stopped keeping stats, so I wasn't paying attention anymore.
Well, I was just giving it for the
Okay.
for
I'll
the
try to
folks
pay
at-
more
I'm
attention.
not writing it down.
Okay,
I'm just
I
for
got
the
you. You're right.
it's for the folks at home.
I'm sorry. I was.
Actually, about a 37-yard run
They've
for
got
Hensley.
the TV. They're probably yelling at us that our stats aren't right anyway.
Right, no, it's 40 yards, you idiot.
That was from the 46. What are you talking about?
4 wide receiver set. Hensley all sorts of time, flat-footed back there in the backfield. Finally just going to pull it down, look to run. Going to be forced out of bounds at around the 28-yard line. It'll be enough for another Spartan first down.
If that kid can walk when he gets home tonight, it's going to be amazing. He's younger than us, and I get that, but holy smokes.
Correction, they marked the ball back a yard, so it's only going to be a gain of
9 and a half.
That's for sure. Where they were first standing, it was a gain of 11. And
He's
a first
taking a look
down.
at it. He's taking a look at it. Hold on. He says, wait a second. Nope.
He
Not
says,
going to go to
you
him.
know, I'm not pulling the chains out. It's this late in the game.
Can I give him to him? Nah, I'll probably get yelled at. Oh, there's that.
A little shovel pass underneath.
Ben Powell.
That will be enough for a Spartan first down.
Two 2 minutes and 13 seconds left here in the third quarter.
I have a feeling this will probably be the last series that you see the starters in on offense for the Spartans. They're going to come out 4 wide receiver set. It's going to have pressure up the middle. Hensley's going to run away from it and throw one to a wide open receiver in the end zone and just overthrew him once again.
That's funny. Brown fell down all dejected, and he's like, oh, I got to get the ball. Hop right back up
Yep.
and went and got the football. That's a good kid right there. Yeah, he could have very well just been, the heck with that. Somebody else can get it. But he didn't. He hopped right back up and hustled after it. That's when you know you have some good kids on your team.
So clock down to just under 1:30 to go here in the third quarter. 4 wide receiver set for the Spartans here on 2nd and 10.
They've literally not stopped this clock one time.
Nope.
Since it started.
Nope. Roll out. We're going to have a flag on the play for a hold.
This is not going to count.
Horwittl's going to have a gain of about 16. Actually, a gain of about 17, but it's going to come back for a hold.
Find the official. The referee, sorry.
And it's going to make it 2nd and about 21 from where the flag's thrown. Flag's thrown about a yard in the backfield. Mark off 10 from there, so bring up 2nd and 21 now for the Spartans.
An 11-yard penalty. Those are the worst kind. Spot of the foul, folks.
3 wide receivers far side, 1 near side, drop back. Hensley's looking to throw. Plenty of time. Going to chuck one down the far sideline. He's got an open receiver once again. And is that Brown again? Nope, that's Horwittle. Dalton Horwittle on the 36-yard touchdown reception.
That'll be the last play of the third quarter.
So at the end of 3 here from LSA High School. Well, hold on. We're going to do the two-point conversion.
They will do the two-point conversion.
I forgot about that. A little quick pitch to Ben Powell. He's going to be brought down in the backfield, though. So 56-22 the score after 3 here from LSA High School.
You know, you see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. The day before the fire, life was good. We went to bed, we woke up, and we had nothing. If it was not for Country Financial, we would still have nothing.
And we're back here from Decatur, Illinois. 56-22 the score here. About to start the fourth quarter.
Know where he's at here.
Right up there to your right, about the coming to the 10-yard line. Army Specialist Eric Shelton. They've got their music too loud. They're trying to give the stats for him running down. I heard two combat tours in Iraq, but their music's covering up the
announcer. That's pretty cool. Another kickoff here for BPC.
Bittner has it teed up on the 40. Nice deep kick down the far sideline. Looks like it's going to bounce out of bounds, though. That's something we haven't seen from Bittner a lot this year. I remember one, but most of his kicks have been down the center and pretty good kicks. And tonight it seems like he's had an issue with keeping them in bounds.
In all honesty, both teams have.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, and the wind was blowing pretty hard earlier. It's not really blowing now, but both teams have kicked a lot of footballs out of bounds on kickoffs. And be interesting to see what BPC does here. They still got their starting defense in, it looks like. Did Kenny ever answer you on the chat?
I turned it off.
Turned it off. I stopped looking at ours. Maybe I should take a glance at ours.
So 1st and 10 here for the Lions. Ball on their own 35-yard line. Looks like Hill back there to take the direct snap. We're going to have a flag before things get started. It's going to go against
formation again.
Going to go against the Lions, moving back 5 yards. They'll bring up 1st and 15.
I can't really see. Is it illegal procedure or illegal formation? I couldn't tell which one he was doing there.
I couldn't either.
Well, folks, I think you're going to hear this finally. We were off for a little bit there. Hopefully we'll come back here in just a second. Injury on the field. Number 22.
Daniel McCormick going to come off under his own power.
I'm going to zoom out here, folks, and do some checking to make sure we're still back on. We should be back on, but I'll make sure. Yep. So we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. We lost a bunch of viewers, but we are back.
High snap. Going to be another punt here. Another good punt. Going to be fielded at about the 30 by Lane Huffman. He was running so fast to try to get to the punt and caught it and never was able to catch his balance as he was off balance running forward there. And able to get tripped up from behind, but it'll be Spartan football. 1st and 10 from about their own 43-yard line. I can hear it in my ears.
Thanks, Dave Norton, for letting us know we are back.
Looking to pass, throwing it down the far sideline. It's going to be broke up.
Sorry, changed phones. Had to change internet service there. Not sure what happened.
So brings up a 2nd and 10 now. 4 wide receiver set, and South Fork's going to take a timeout.
Who?
No, I'm sorry, not South. I was thinking. I was looking at the West Prairie game before I put my phone back down there. Decatur Lutheran going to take the timeout.
That sounds like something I do. That's why announce the races and say the wrong racetrack is always a great thing to do too.
You brought up the wrestling analogy earlier. It's like when you went Cheap Heat, you just say you're in the wrong city.
Yeah.
So 8:54 here on the clock.
We are sorry, folks, that we stepped away for a couple seconds there. Had to change internet sources. Not real sure what happened. Kind of funny that it works, but it didn't work on a computer anymore.
Looks like 20-8 still the score there from West Prairie High School. Since I said something about South Fork, better go ahead and look at the score. So looks like West Prairie going to take home a
homecoming victory.
Homecoming victory. I was trying to think, what is that thing that game they're playing?
That football game. What is it this week?
Where people come back and do things.
Yeah, they go somewhere for something. They come to where for what?
2nd and 10 now for the Spartans. 4 wide receiver set. Going to look to throw. He's got Brown down the center of the field. He's going to underthrow him, though, and it's going to be incomplete.
I think that Link landed on his wrist. Tried to dive for the ball after it bounced off of Brown, and Link grabbed his wrist immediately.
So it'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
8:20 remaining here. Clock running in the 4th quarter.
Little wheel route from the backfield. It's going to be completed.
That's a nice catch.
Little one-handed grab there by Horwoodle. It's going to cut the distance down just under half. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4 now after that 6-yard completion. Hensley's just going to pull it down and run it this time, but we got all sorts of flags here. Kramer tackled the defender across from him, and that's going to come back on a holding.
Is that illegal?
It is.
We lost our replay. That's the only bad thing about how this works now. We can't see anything anymore. So we can watch me zoom up in the air, but sorry, folks. This is why Miles gets paid the big bucks.
Wait, Miles gets paid?
A little. Big bucks is a relative term. What are we doing here?
I just thought maybe you paid him in like those oversized fake dollar bills.
Oversized Mountain Dews, apparently, is what I pay him with. What are we doing here? Is the clock still running the whole time?
Yep.
We don't know where to mark it from, or?
Maybe it wasn't the tackle. Maybe it was maybe from what I thought out of the corner of my eye was a tackle against us. It was a tackle against them.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty or something. They never did show us a signal. 15-yarder, so it had to be personal foul or unsportsmanlike or something. Oh, we wasted about a minute there.
Down to 6 minutes and 15 seconds and counting. 1st and 10 Spartans now. Ball on the 41-yard line. Hensley going to pull it down, and he's going to run it now down the far sidelines. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 29-yard line, it looks like.
1st and 10, BPC. Yeah, the stats of this game are going to look a lot different than the actuality of this game.
I don't know what stats you're talking about.
Well, your stats.
The score's going to look.
Stat.
The score's not going to be indicative to it, but.
Well, the stats won't be either, because if they'd have kept their starters in, I don't think this would have. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 4 wide receiver set here on first down. Hensley's going to throw one over the middle. It's going to be caught by Ben Powell. It's going to be a gain of about 4, it looks like. I'm actually really surprised. I called our last offensive possession. I said I figured this would be the last time we saw the starters in. I figured you'd see the Huffman boys in at quarterback and running back, and call me a liar.
Well, maybe one of those things where you want to build some confidence and say, hey, we're not going out like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hensley's going to have a gain of about 19.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
We're going to spread the field with 4 wide receivers once again for the Spartans. Hensley's going to drop back and just lead his would-be receiver.
Powell was open, too. He was open, but missed him by a little bit. Led him too far, as you said.
And I think you're able to see here that Hensley's, I think the gas tank's about empty, as he normally does drop the ball down when he throws and then has a big windup, and that one was just very, almost like he was putting a little bit more onto it with the fatigue. This one he's going to pull down and look to run, and he's just going to look to run over a few people. He's going to have it down inside the 5, close to the 1 or 2 yard line. It's going to be enough for a first down, whichever it is. It'll be inside the 2 yard line.
First and goal.
First and goal for the Spartans.
Well, I heard him say Will is here tonight. Not sure if Charlie's here, but Will, his older brother, came back tonight.
So split backfield here on first and goal. It's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle, and Hensley's going to have it in for the touchdown. I don't know if he looked to pitch it, the timing was off, but he faked a pitch and ran it in for the touchdown. That'll make it 28 now for the Spartans. Spartans line up for the 2-point conversion. Handoff straight. Nope. Will be an option around the far side, and they're not going to let him in there. The official's getting taken out, and Horwood got taken out about 1.5 yards short of the goal line. So 2:50 and counting. We're probably going to be down under 2 minutes by the time we get the kickoff. But the score is 56-28. The host Lions on top of the Spartans.
We'll take a break and be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH right after this.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
We're back here we're not at Bushnell. We're at a Bushnell game in Decatur. I was wondering if I hit the 6 or not. I did. Okay. 56-28. Fourth quarter. Clock is running, and you're right. We'll be down under 2 minutes. We're going to be at 1:30.
And they finally just now stopped the clock.
Well, I think that referee said.
Never mind.
Well, I think the referee said stop it or come on out. And that was pretty much the hand signal that I saw, I think. We understand you want to get the game over, but we have to at least kind of do this by the book.
Sort of.
Kind of.
Good kick by Bettner this time, going to be down the center of the field, be fielded at about the 11-yard line, and return man's going to bring it up to the near sideline. He's got some room to work here. That's Miller, isn't it?
It is.
And Miller's going to take it back for a touchdown, but we got a flag because there was a block in the back here, so.
And the flag is all the way back there at the 39-yard line. Clock shouldn't stop, though. The clock technically should still be running.
Right. Of all the things they stopped the clock for, now they stop it.
It's almost like you saw it or something.
I did. And I was actually surprised because when I saw it, there was no flag on the play, and I was like, I guess we're not calling that block in the back. And then, but I mean, honestly, though, of all the things.
To stop the clock. Why is the clock stopped now?
The clock has not stopped.
We could have not ran another play.
Yeah. The clock literally has not stopped other than 2 timeouts that have been taken, one for an injury and I think one for a personnel issue that LSA had. But now the timekeeper stops the clock for a penalty.
Just to down the ball. Up down it one more time to get this one over with. So this will be the final score, 56-28, as we approach the end of this homecoming victory for LSA. BPC falls to 3-3 on the season, right?
Yep.
They're under 30 seconds, so they can for sure down it now.
Yep,
that will be the ball game.
That'll move to the Spartans to 3-3, and I also believe that moves the Decatur to 3-3. Of course, as we said, Bushnell goes on the road next week to play South Fork, Kincaid. That is on the 9th, and that is a 6 o'clock start time.
You going to be able to do that one?
Yeah.
On a Saturday?
Sure.
We were told Coach Rodis is going to find his way up here, so we'll take a break here and come back in a couple minutes, and then we'll talk a little and come back for another break when we get ready to come with Coach Rodis. We'll be right back after this.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered today. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
And welcome back here to Decatur, Illinois. Final score 56-28. The host Lions on top of your BPC Spartans, and as you can see on the screen there, all the coaches, cheerleaders, both teams out there for taking a knee.
BPC's cheerleaders aren't out there actually, but the LSA are.
Top of the 6th, the Cubs have taken the lead 3-2 over the Cardinals.
It's good to see teams after a hard-fought game get together. Whether you believe in prayer or don't believe in prayer, it's good to see them get together and be cordial with each other and take time together and do that just to show that, you know, win or lose, we can still be friends.
Yep. And then,
agree or disagree, we can still be friends.
And as you can see there on the screen too, like a lot of the players dabbing each other up, little bro hugs, whatever you want to call them, and, you know, the good games. And, of course, a couple of them stopping Shane Shin and talking to him.
These kids, of course, not familiar with Shane, but probably watched the game film for the first couple weeks and was like, holy smokes. there's a lot of losses that teams have, and that's as big a loss as any team probably in the state's going to have, and for what Shane brought to the table for this BPC squad.
It's funny because I went down to grab a bite to eat when I first got here, and Shane was walking with one of the coaches out to the field. They were carrying stuff out, and one of the kids was standing over, and they looked at him. They looked at Shane, and he looked at the other kid he was with. He goes, "That kid's got to be a senior." He's like, "Well, why?" And he goes, "Well, because he looks 25." And it was funny because then the other kid says, "Well, he looks older than the coach." And I'm like, "Yeah, he kind of does."
Is he working with Schwartz?
No, I can't think of the other one's name.
I don't know which other one you're talking about.
The short one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. Now I can't remember it either. Is it on the list?
That's what I'm looking.
He played volleyball the other night, too. Let's start with an S.
Jacob Schishler?
Schishler, that's it.
So Coach Schishler was walking out with Shane Shin before the game. And I don't know, though. I mean, one may look like he's 25, but if you've seen Coach Schishler, he definitely knows where the weight room is. So
yes, he does.
Who said final score here, 56-28. We're going to await the arrival of Coach Rodis. Actually, it looks like he's on his way up here right now. As you can see him just going off to the side of your screen. It's a little bit of a hike up here. Not only does he have he's got a
flight and a half of steps.
I was going to say he's got the 3-acre walk to get here. He's got a flight of steps and then a fire escape ladder to climb. So
I wonder if he can get through that opening he's walking to. Yeah, they did. That's where they went in, wasn't it?
Well, we'll see. He's looking at it.
Yeah, he walked through there earlier, so he knew what he was doing, I think.
So, Dwayne, if you want, we'll
step aside, and we'll be back with Coach Rodis here in just a couple more minutes. Actually, we might be like 3 or 4 minutes because he'll probably need to catch his breath.
Yep.
By the time he climbs up here. So we'll be right back with Coach Rodis here in just a few minutes.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True convection cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
You know, you see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. The day before the fire, life was good. We went to bed, we woke up, and we had nothing. If it was not for Country Financial, we would still have nothing.
At Ace, your backyard is right in our backyard. So when you need to feed your grass, remove the weeds, or wrangle those leaves, go to the best place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. No warehouse store can match the convenience of your locally owned neighborhood Ace. So stop on by. You can also order online for curbside pickup or get what you need delivered today. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their lawn care.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
MDH has committed to having a top-notch OB-GYN unit.
The new facility, the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center, this is a quality facility that the patients need to match the quality of care.
And then we also have a new clinic, which is state-of-the-art.
And here at McDonough, we have a team. And everybody feels like they're a part of the successes that we have.
We have a strong team in our office and in labor and delivery. You will get the best care at McDonough District.
Post-game joined here by Coach Rodis. Coach, it just seems like it was another Peoria Heights start. Came out really slow to begin with. Spotted a decent team, a couple score lead, then was trying to play catch-up the rest of the night.
Yeah, definitely. We knew that offense, we've never seen anything like that before where the quarterback's getting the ball 80% of the time. and they're just lead blocking for him. We knew that we were going to have some stuff to work on when we got here because we can't replicate it. But we tried, and we tried a 4-4 to start with, and we realized that didn't work, and we hopped back to our other defense, and that worked a little bit. But I don't have an answer to us coming out flat, and that's what we need to turn around because we can make stuff happen. I think that's apparent in the second half, but we got to be able to do that in the first half.
And Coach, I know some of the question was, did the bus ride down here, did that have anything to do with it? But then, like you said before we came back on, well, if it did, we got to figure it out because we're going to try and make this almost same trip next week.
This whole 8-man deal is about a bus ride right now. Until we get more teams that decide to play 8-man, it's all about it. And you know what? It's not bad practice because if you ever make the playoffs, you're going to travel. I mean, their true seed 1 to 16. Who knows where you might end up? We may end up at the Wisconsin border. We better figure out how to get off of a bus and play. And I thought I tried to help that tonight and made some rounds through the buses as we got closer. But, when I turn around and some of them are back to asleep again by the time I get to my seat, that doesn't help anything. So it's kind of on them a little bit too. So we got to figure that out.
Well, Coach, 3 games left in the season, 3-3 right now. Got Kincaid, I think, next week. Last I saw, they were losing 20-6 to West Prairie on homecoming there. We got that next week, and then after that, you got two really good teams. As I think it was Freeport comes in to Bushel on a Saturday, and then
they're the real deal.
And then we go to Pawnee to end the season. So
and I hope we get some stuff figured out by the time we get there because it would be nice to be able to win out. But we got some tough games ahead, and 1 week at a time. And right now we're struggling to start with. We need to figure out how to turn that around.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you making the trip up here. We kind of joked about the distance. So
yeah, no kidding. I do want to send a shout out to Coach Zarillo. He couldn't be with us tonight. Thoughts and prayers to him and his family. He had a loss in his family, and he had to travel to Kansas. So, our thoughts and prayers. The whole team's been thinking of him this week. He's been gone. And I've been talking with Mason Drawn, I think it is. He's in my art class, and he was real excited to watch you guys and to get to see this game. So, a big shout out to Mason because he's excited, and hopefully, I didn't give him much to look at tonight, but I know he's excited about Spartan football. So that's always fun to see a kid get that excited about it. So,
right.
And hopefully next week we can give everybody a different look, and we're going to keep throwing the ball.
You guys threw the ball a little differently tonight a little bit. I mean, everybody sees Brown downfield was your big plays. You threw a lot in the flat a little bit and some outs to Powell, which is something you got to do, right?
They're running man coverage, and we tried to run them off and then throw under. That's what you got to do, right? And it worked. And then like you saw Sam run a little bit, and I told him, I said, if they're all covered, that means there should be some holes to run because everybody just ran off with them. So, we just got to keep putting things together. I mean, we're getting better in the second halves, I guess, but we can't let those first halves set us back.
At a certain point, you got to get the kids to recognize things quicker, right?
Yeah.
Understand that this is what needs to change and do it before halftime. Do it the first or second drive.
Exactly. Yeah,
and maybe
that's exactly it.
A little more experience in this 8-man thing will do that a little bit, you think? Or do you think that's what it is?
I think so. And I think they're finding out how fast points can get put on you or we could put on them. I mean, we scored really quick, back to back, and then they did that to us to start the game, and then that kind of took any wind we had out of our sails, So, yeah, we got to figure out how 8-man works with us scoring really fast. They got to be able to adjust to it. They can't let a mistake get them down,
right?
And we don't have time to duck our head. We got to forget those things and move on.
When it used to be like a lot of 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of football,
right?
That doesn't really work for you as well in 8-man. It doesn't seem like it does because they can score so quickly. Those other teams can.
I agree, but if we can eat up clock and move the ball, we're gonna. Their defense, we couldn't do that. We tried some run plays early, and they stuffed us. I mean, we may have lost yards on each one of them, and I'm like, well, done doing that. I learned from my mistakes, right? I mean, I want the kids to learn from theirs. I'm going to try to learn from mine. And
then when you get behind, also that affects
then
that too, right?
Yeah, then you got to change some play calling too. So, but no, I sure appreciate everything you guys do coming all the way down here, and hopefully next week we'll have something a little bit better.
Well, we'll be making that trip as well, so
awesome.
We'll see Kid Cade and see if we can't get back on the win streak again.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
So, Jeff, we'll hop in here real quick if you want to, Jeff, and do a little outro. And if you got that mic turned down, and hey, wait, I'm going to turn the camera just in case Mr. Rodis, Coach Rodis falls down. We don't want to video his doom. If it makes you feel any better, Coach, I got to climb down that too.
I don't know how you did it.
It's not easy. So he did make it far enough down to be safe, I think, and we'll hop out here real quick. Not that I need to be on camera really, but long road trips, they've always been a problem, Jeff. When you played, everybody played. Whenever they take a long road trip, when we were in school or when you were in school, an hour and a half is a long road trip. Now we're 2.5 or 3 hour road trips. They've always been hard. They probably always will be hard. I don't know you'll ever find a good answer, but they've had this problem in some shorter road trips too, so that's not the only issue they're having with this first half opening slow.
As you mentioned, I mean, Peoria Heights was our bus ride. They did that a few weeks ago. We saw them start slow then. Last week we're at home. They come out, and they're the ones that from the get-go, pedal the floor, throwing a bunch of points up. We make a 2.5 hour bus ride tonight, and, we came down in a coach, in a charter bus. They didn't ride a school bus down. They were actually in comfortable seats, but, it's still, you're in a vehicle for 2.5 hours. You get here, it may play a little bit on getting going, but like Coach said, the kids have to figure that out.
You think about a lot of what the professionals do, or even colleges, they take long bus rides, but they don't take long bus rides an hour before the game.
Right.
Maybe the deal, like Kincaid, you're not in school in Kincaid. Leave at 10 in the morning. Get there early and just move around, relax, get loosened back up might be the thing to do.
Yep.
Because you're so long on the bus, you're kind of just, same thing when we're trying to carry equipment up the stairs and everything else. So, but Kincaid next week, congratulations. It sounds like to West Prairie on a win. I hope nothing changed since we looked last, but I can't believe it did.
Right. It was 26 last I saw. I think they said it was in the fourth quarter. Right. So it looks like maybe a homecoming victory for West Prairie tonight. So
they're 2-4. BPC's 3-3. I don't think either team can really be too disappointed in their first year of 8-man. I mean, they're both probably outmanned to some of the teams they're playing just in sheer numbers, but they're also – the coaching staffs are learning the game, the kids are learning the game, and the speed of the game and the speed in which they score, I think, is like Coach Rodda said, is a huge thing, and they're going to learn that and get better. They have the athletes, they just got to get there.
Yeah, like we said, we were 13 seconds into the game today, and it was 16-0. 13 seconds off the clock, and there's already been 2 scores. So, this is a lot quicker paced. And I actually asked Coach, I said, so what's the learning curve been? He goes, nothing. He goes, once you realize that you don't have a fullback and you're missing 2 other positions, he goes, you really don't. He goes, you can still do whatever you want to do. You just have to remember they're not in the equation anymore. He goes, so it's a pretty quick learn curve. It's just getting them to execute.
Yeah, your blocking becomes a little more difficult maybe, I think, because you don't have – the gaps are different, and linebackers have a lot more of a free run if they want to come. Right. And we saw them bringing like quarterback blitzes tonight, and that's the first time I remember seeing anybody doing that. So a lot of different stuff is going to get thrown at you, and you go from a 5-man blocking scheme to a 3, even though they have 3 less players too, still your blocking schemes are not the same.
Yep.
Because you don't have the fullback to throw in there or anything like that anymore.
And you're still going to have that unaccounted for player because when you match up everyone, there's someone for that quarterback, and if he's the one blitzing, there's no blocker for him.
Exactly. And that we saw that happen a few times. I'll say it again, Mr. Hensley is going to be sore tomorrow, I would imagine. He took a lot of hits and gave a lot of hits. And Ben Powell had a pretty decent game, though. He got thrown to a lot tonight. He had a couple fumbles, which were – one which turned out okay, one which kind of stopped the drive when they were still kind of in the game. But, these kids have stepped up. Horwittle played decent. And so, I mean, they did some good things. It's just the coming out. a little quicker offensively, and definitely defensively. They got to figure out a way to come out of off the bus a little better, I think.
Yep. So they'll get another chance with next week at Kincaid and see if we can get back on the win streak.
Yeah, it's nice to see that West Prairie got a win against them, so it would make BPC fans at least expect. But, you say that and you look at what the JV West Prairie team did to BPC on Monday night of this week when BPC beat them the first game, and BPC really had no answer for them offensively. Now, they did have Jensen Laughlin playing quarterback, but so that was a little different. But things change.
Mm-hmm.
Teams get better throughout the year, and you need to continue to get better. So just because a team you beat handily early in the year beat this team doesn't mean that both those teams aren't a lot better than they were to start with.
Well, Dwayne, I got a bus to catch, so we'll
and I got a bunch
up.
of stuff to tear down.
You do. 56-28 final score here from Decatur. For Dwayne Hewlett, I'm Jeff Borders. Next week we will be back to bring you all the action from Kincaid High School. I believe Chris will also be back, so we will see you next week.